guys, and welcome back to my channel, Elena Today. If you are new here, my name is Elena and I am an American that lives in Kolkata, India, and I like to make videos about my everyday life. So sorry for the updo, I'm not really put together. I'm kind of in my comfy clothes today. I haven't been feeling very well the last couple of days, been very under the weather. My husband and I did eat some food this weekend. We did go out and eat some food, and I think it has to be something like that. However, my husband feels perfectly fine. So I don't know, I'm not for sure if the food that I ordered was a little undercooked or too spicy, I don't know, but my stomach was not having it these last couple of days. But I'm starting to feel a little better now, and I'm kind of wanting to bake something, craving something sweet. And I actually had a subscriber recently ask if I could make another cookie recipe, and so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Today I decided I will make you guys a delicious, chewy, soft peanut butter cookie. It's also another very simple recipe. All you need is a spoon and a bowl. That's it. It's a one bowl recipe, just like my last cookie recipe, which I'll put up here for you guys if you want to check it out. A chocolate chip cookie recipe, which was delicious. And same with today. Like I said, I really try to find simple, easy recipes to put together because I don't have a hand mixer. I don't have any of those fancy stuff right now. And I just like to find something that's easy to make and quick to put together. So we're gonna go ahead and put everything together because we do have a little bit of resting time today, unlike my last cookie recipe, but it will be totally worth it in the end. Alright guys, like I said, it is a one bowl recipe. So these are all my ingredients. I will make sure to put the ingredient list down below. So first what you're going to want is you're going to want 1 cup of softened room temperature butter. We don't want melted butter. So what I like to do is I just set my butter out on the countertop the night before, and it becomes perfect the next morning or next day when you are ready to use it. Okay, then we're going to add 1 1/4 cup brown sugar and then 1/4 cup of white sugar. So brown sugar, I do want to say, is very different than jaggery. I've tried replacing brown sugar with jaggery before, and the taste is very different. Now, people love that in India, like they still loved my cookie and it was delicious, but jaggery does give a different taste to your cookie. And then the white sugar, the 1/4 cup white sugar. So here in India, a lot of the sugar comes in very big cubes. So what I found and to work for me when baking is I will measure out the 1/4 cup sugar, and then I will basically just grind it into powdered sugar. That really helps it to combine with the butter or anything that you're baking, and it just really incorporates into the recipe a lot easier too, and really makes your baked goods taste delicious. So all I'm doing here now is I'm just creaming together the sugar and butter, and literally it's just taking me a couple of seconds to do it, or about a minute to cream it all together. Because the butter's already soft and the sugar is fine, it comes together really easily. Okay, that's it. That's what it should look like. All right, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add eggs. So you need 2 room temperature eggs. You want it room temperature because it's just gonna help it combine easier. We're just gonna add 1 egg at a time. And this is just gonna help make it nice and fluffy. Okay, 1 egg. Add the second. And all you need, guys, for this is a spoon. You could use a whisk if you want, but even if you don't have one, a spoon works perfectly. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Mix that real quick. And now the most important ingredient is the peanut butter. So we want to use 1 1/3 cup peanut butter, creamy peanut butter. Now you could probably use crunchy if that's all you have. It's just gonna give it a little different type of consistency for your cookie. Okay, we're gonna give that a good mix. Now what's important is I actually have an all-natural peanut butter. However, you really kind of want to use the store-bought, not pure peanut butter, because the way that they make it with the sugar and emulsifiers, it's just going to really help your cookies stay together. If you use an all-natural peanut butter, it's just not going to form very well. And I can testify because I've done that before. So try to get the store-bought brand, not the all-natural brand. So this is just taking about a minute to whip together, basically. And I'm showing you guys in real time just so you can see how quickly this recipe comes together. Okay, that's good. Oh, smells delicious. All right, now we're gonna add the flour. So we want to use 2 1/2 cups of white flour. And then we also want to have 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I had used salted butter in the beginning. If you did not use salted butter, then you can use 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then also 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder. I'm just going to put that right on top. Okay. And then we're just going to slowly mix this in. If you have a bigger bowl, that will be ideal. But what I'm gonna do real quickly is I'm gonna wash my hands because I got lots of peanut butter on it. So give me one moment. All right, now I'm back. Okay, so we're just gonna slowly mix this all together. Now, what's important here? Well, 2 things with the flour. Okay, first, when measuring the flour, you don't want to pack your flour, because if you pack your flour, when it comes to baking, this is very important. When you pack your flour, then it's too much. You're gonna get too much, it's gonna make your dough too thick, and it's not gonna cook properly. So a tip that I have with it is you could either fluff out your flour and then take a spoon and just lightly pour it into your cup, and then level it out. I would say that's the best. But again, don't pack it like you do your sugars, like the brown sugar. Usually you'll pack your brown sugars and stuff. But with flour, we don't want to do that. We want it light and airy when we're measuring it out. Then the other second thing that's really, really important here, guys, is we don't want to overmix our cookie dough batter with the flour. If we overmix it, it's just not going to turn out properly. We basically just want to mix it until we don't see any of the white flour anymore. When you overmix it, your cookie dough can become a little thick. It won't be as nice and fluffy that we're looking for. So I'm trying to just show you guys in real time how long it takes to mix the cookie dough, just so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. And I'm not stirring, I'm not whisking it. I'm just basically lifting from the bottom to get the peanut butter dough at the bottom to be able to mix properly with the flour. So See, just a little bit more on this side. So just mix it a little. I kind of do a scoop method. It is a little messy here. I should have got a little bit bigger bowl, but that's okay. Still have a little bit of flour over here. And I think, nope, just a couple more scoops from the bottom. All right, and that is, oh, hold on, there's a little bit. Little bit from the bottom right there. Okay, so that's really it, guys. We don't want to overmix it. Now the hard part, so it's done, guys. Super simple. See how quick that was, just throwing it all together? So this is the hard part. Because it's peanut butter cookies, it's very soft and it's very hard to roll together at this stage. So what we need to do, I'm gonna put like a saran wrap or foil paper over this, and I'm gonna sit it in the refrigerator for about 1 hour. Yes, I know, 1 hour, such a long time, but trust me, this is a really important step when making peanut butter cookies. What you could also do is you could put it in the freezer for about half an hour if you want to cut the time up. My freezer is just way too small, unfortunately, so this won't fit in it. So we're gonna put this in the refrigerator for an hour, and then I'll come back and we'll roll it up and bake them. All right, guys, so it has been about an hour since my dough has been resting in the refrigerator. Now, it's really important that you don't keep it in the refrigerator for hours and hours or in the freezer for hours, because we want to make sure that the dough is still soft enough that you can form a nice ball in. So it's soft enough that it's still malleable, but it's not too sticky. Okay, so we can actually form a ball in it. So form a ball, nice 2 tablespoons worth, I would say. And then I have here some powdered sugar. Now, if you have regular granulated sugar, that will probably work a little better, but I don't. So I just made some powdered sugar. And that's it. If you do accidentally refrigerate it too long, or say you're keeping this, you make a big batch and you want to save some, and you put it in the freezer or in the refrigerator, then just make sure you put it and you thaw it until it's room temperature. Because if it's too hard, then it just doesn't, it doesn't spread very easily then when you're cooking it, if the dough is too hard. So here I'm just gonna make these balls, cookie balls. Again, you can make them as big or little. I'm doing about, I would say, about 2 tablespoons worth in here. And again, this is optional, the putting it in sugar. You don't have to if you don't want. So I'm just gonna put a couple here. Now, this is a baking sheet. It is non-stick. So if you have a non-stick sheet, then this works perfectly. If you don't, then you can put some parchment paper on there to help the cookies not stick to, So what you're gonna do now is, I actually already started the microwave oven at 180 degrees Celsius. If you have a regular oven, it can also be 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And we are only gonna bake this for about 8 to 10 minutes. So it is really, really important that we don't over bake the cookies, because then they won't come out super chewy and super soft. So it just depends on your microwave oven how long to cook, so keep an eye on it. They're not really gonna brown up, because these type of cookies just don't. And they may seem like they're not cooked all the way, but that's okay. They're supposed to look like that. When you're done baking them, it's really important to let them set, fully set properly, because they're still gonna cook a little bit after you pull them out because of the brown sugar and the butter in the cookie. So it's really important to let them sit and let them cool down completely to get the perfect cookie. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this in the microwave oven for, I'm gonna start with 8 minutes, and then I will let them cool and we will give it a try. All right, guys, I made a couple of batches. So this is not even all of the dough. I think the dough makes around 32 cookies, so it is a lot. So you can always half this recipe. I always forget how much cookies it does make. Now I do want to go over a couple of tips. It's been a while since I've made these peanut butter cookies, so I forgot a couple things. So this was the first batch I made. As you can see, it's the one filled with sugar, and this one too, I put a little bit of sugar on the outside. Honestly, I don't think you need that extra sugar. The cookie is already sweet enough, but if you like that, then go right ahead. The first batch, I think I made the cookies a little too big. So originally I had said make 2 tablespoons, worth of cookie dough ball. I don't think you need that. One tablespoon is plenty enough. Plus, the bigger the dough ball, or the cookie ball, it was a lot harder, or took a lot longer for the cookie to spread. So I think 1 tablespoon rolled up would be perfect. Also, you don't want to roll it as much as I did there in the beginning. Just make the dough ball quickly and put it on the cookie sheet. It doesn't have to be a perfect round circle. I actually think it gives it character when it's not perfectly round. They still all form perfectly, I think, but this is what it looks like. Now I do want to say with this first round, because they were a little bit big, it was a little, to me, it was a little too thick on the inside, a little too doughy. Still tastes good, but these ones were even better. And this was my last batch, so let's go ahead and try it. I did say too that these cookies don't really brown. Well, mine did a little, very lightly. It's a very light browning, and I would say they all took around 9 minutes to cook, 9 to 10 minutes to cook. Again, when you pull them out, let them rest for a little bit. I let them rest about 10 minutes before transferring them to a wire rack. So I used something like this to let it cool even more completely, because the cookies are going to be way too soft to even move them from the cookie tray. So let them rest for about 10 minutes and then set them aside on a cookie rack or a wire rack. Okay, and the reason why I've made so many is because I plan on letting my husband take them to office tomorrow so that he can share them with his coworkers. It's been a while since I've done something like that, but let's go ahead and try one of these. I'm going to try my most recent one. See, this is, to me, this is a perfect size cookie. So like I said, about 1 tablespoon size. It spreads very nicely. So first, let's kind of open it up. My gosh, see if you can see. Yeah, super soft on the inside. These are very soft, chewy cookies. They're not crunchy cookies, okay? Even when you let them rest, they're gonna be very soft. So, smells very good. Let's try. Melt in your mouth. And they're very soft, but wow, great flavor. I love brown sugar. It gives that very nice caramelized kind of flavor to it. So that brown sugar with that butter. Wow, guys, this is delicious. You're not going to be able to stop at just 1 cookie. Wow, I can't wait until my husband comes home to try these. But they turned out amazing. Any holidays you guys have for your family, I would highly suggest baking these. They go well with coffee, with chai. They are delicious. They're not like your typical biscuit here in India. They're not crunchy, but they are soft and chewy and delicious. If you like peanut butter, you will love these cookies. They're so good. And like I said, you can experiment a little the ones with the sugar, they're still good. They're still tasty and delicious, but I actually think I prefer them without the extra sugar on top because it gives it, you can really taste the peanut butter that way, I think. And so, yeah, but make a couple of different batches. Like I said, this recipe makes like 32 cookies, which is quite a lot, but that's okay. I'm gonna save it, I'm gonna freeze it, and then whenever I'm craving something sweet next time, I'll just pop it out of the refrigerator or freezer. Again, make sure what's really important to keep it at, let it get to room temperature. And that's one last thing I wanted to say. So these last ones, I actually let it sit out a little longer. So originally I said keep it in the refrigerator, which you do, because if not, the dough is too sticky. But I actually don't think you need to keep it in there for a full hour, maybe 30 minutes in the refrigerator, just enough to form the dough, because they actually spread a lot better when they're not too cold. So that's just my experience, but these look amazing. I can't wait to share them with my husband, and I can't wait till he shares them with his co-workers. But that'll do it for today's video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, because it really helps to support my channel. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!